Hey guys, Facebook land and whatnot, YouTube, everybody that follows us. Guys, I'm here with Mike Marino. Mike's one of my sellers, one of my clients, also a friend of mine. And he's the owner of the home at 3201 Melton. And that's probably the most talked about home in Pinellas County right now that's on the market. 3201melton.com is our domain name. And some interesting stuff came up with this transaction, and we thought we would pop on here and make a quick video to help, first of all, the realtors of Tampa Bay understand why we do things the way they do. Some folks got a little upset by the marketing plan that Mike put in place and that I put in place. So I want to clear the air on that, and more importantly, we want to pay tribute to the people in the team that help us put great deals together, in this case, especially for Mike. We're pleased to announce that as of this morning, we accepted an offer on the home. Mike accepted an offer. We thank those that took the time to put an offer. You guys were great, great following. Lots of great professional agents out there pounding the pavement, doing it right, looking out for their buyers. That's always good. We appreciate that. And in looking out for buyers, one of the things that's really important, and was important to you, Mike, was getting a pre-approval letter. Why was that important to you? Why did that matter to you?
Yeah, Tyler, as you talk to me about all these offers that are coming in, a big thing in this market, everybody's getting lots of offers, yes.
Sure.
But which ones are going to go through?
Right.
People are outbidding each other, but does that really mean anything if 30, 45 days from now, I got to relist my house on the market? I had to pay all that mortgage payments, of course, all the time from yourself, all your work, and my time also. So verifying the income in addition to the credit score to make sure that, yes, they threw a number on a piece of paper, is it going to follow through, is so important. I think a lot of people don't think of that, especially in today's market when they just see high numbers.
They don't, and I've been doing this at least a day now, and one thing I've seen that's unfortunate is a lot of buyers, they get these pre-approval letters, they don't really carry much weight. They go into contract with a seller, they want to do the right thing, they mean right, they mean well, the buyer's agents mean well, they are with the right intent, they want to close, but then they shell out the money for a home inspection. Well, depending on the home inspector, that could be $300 to $500. Then there's an appraisal, $400 to $500 for an appraisal. So let's just say, right out of the gate, they're dropping $1,000 of their hard-earned money to make sure the house is what they want. Then they find out 30 days later that some glitch happened. They're not approved for the house. The lender didn't pull their credit like you had said, or their income. And they've shelled out $1,000. They've wasted 30 days of their time. Maybe they've packed up their house. Maybe they've sold their other house or are in the process of selling their house. Now they can't close on your house. That's a big conundrum. I mean, for us, it's no fun as the listing agent and the seller, but it's a lot less fun for the buyer because they've actually got lost revenue on this. We lose market time, they lose revenue. So with that said, you were very specific. We talked about Heckman Mortgage Group. A lot of agents had an issue with that. And buyers, I could see, would maybe have an issue with that as well, because maybe they feel like they're being forced to use Heckman Mortgage. And that wasn't what we were saying. We're saying we want Heckman to do the pre-approval. And why was that important to you? Why Heckman? Why did that matter over anything else?
Yeah, I mean, again, what's going on in the market right now? I mean, Tyler, how many times have you turned on the TV and the radio and discount mortgage brokers talking about automatic pre-approval? Right. Everybody's approved.
Right.
Well,
2008 all over again.
Well, that sounds great, but from a seller, and we talked about if it doesn't close, that hurts.
Right.
Money-wise, time-wise. So I got to meet Brian, or speak to Brian from Heckman Mortgage.
Yep.
He's a very competent guy. Just talking to him, the way he speaks, the way he talks about how he vets potential buyers.
Right.
That's somebody I'm confident in that's not going to be right off the street. Oh, I pre-approve everybody.
Right.
So, again, if you go on Google, he's got a 5-star review, which is
rare at best.
Especially on Google.
Right.
My gosh. And just having that personal relationship with Brian, he's part of the team.
Right.
And most people don't think of when you're selling, have a team, have a good agent, have a broker that can help filter those hundreds of offers that aren't going to close, just to protect myself and to protect both of our investments in time.
Right. And indirectly, we're protecting the buyer because they're not going to have to go through the process twice, and that's huge. As far as Heckman, for me, I've been working with Brian for many years. He's responsible for training me and a lot of the other agents in the Tampa Bay area, and he does that for free. Sometimes folks think that if the seller or the listing agent is pushing an approval process by a particular lender, that there's some sort of kickback, they're on the take and whatnot. And number one, that's highly illegal. For the agent, they could lose the real estate license, as could the lender. And for the seller, could be a big problem as well. So that's clearly not the case. But when you find good people and you put them to work, if you're a seller, to help you sell your house, if you're a buyer, to buy the right house, and to make sure that you only have to do this process once, because it's no fun doing it twice. That's important. And I can speak from experience with Heckman that ethical business practices is the overarching theme at Heckman Mortgage. Are they the cheapest game in town? No, but as we all know, you get what you pay for, right? And frankly, I'm not the cheapest realtor in town either. Mike will tell you I'm not cheap. But my commission winds up being free at the end of the day, because we can make sure we close, number one. And number two, we get top dollar for the property. And it's what the seller wants. It's a win-win for everybody. And the buyer gets good value because they're getting a quality home. And I can't begin to thank Brian and his team. And he's only as good as his team, right? Because he can be awesome, but if his team is terrible, well, then the rest of the falls apart. So shout out to Heckman Mortgage. And by the way, one thing you asked is that does he get any compensation for qualifying this, even if the buyer doesn't use them? And no, he doesn't. He does that on the house. So he goes through the time and aggravation and trouble of qualifying these buyers. And in this case, Brian's been a very busy boy. We've had a lot of people Brian's had to qualify. Sorry for the wind, guys. We're down here in Key West, goofing off, and we thought we'd make this video. But Brian does this out of, he obviously wants to earn the business, and that's a big part of why he does that. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't get the loan on the deal, that's okay for him. It's less than ideal, but it's okay for him. He does it anyway. Selfless service. We obviously want to see him get the business. We want to make sure our people are compensated and well taken care of. But at the end of the day, this is the service that Brian provides to the industry, and thanks Brian and team for making sure that happens. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a tough one, and as I explained to you, a lot of agents always want to know, are there other offers on the table? And as we know, there's two statuses that are most important. It's active and pending in the MLS. And for you gave me specific instructions not to share with people that are interested in the property whether or not we have other offers on the table. Why was that important to you?
Yeah, I mean, you look at why people would ask that, and nothing against anybody who asked that question.
Sure.
But in the end, it's the game.
Right.
We're trying to play a game, both sides. I don't like to play games.
Right.
I want to sell my house, and somebody who, if they fall in love with my house, fantastic. If they want to know if they're going to be the first offer, well, that might hold them back to give a proper offer of what they think the house is worth.
Right.
And if they hear that somebody else has put in an offer, that might change their mindset too. So instead, I just want the buyer to clearly say, hey, I love this house, I'm willing to pay this, and from my end, fantastic, I would love to sell you this house, this is what I'd like to sell with. So just take away all the games so it's fair for everybody.
And it's smart because it creates a level playing field, right? All buyers get treated equally. Everybody has a fair opportunity. We're not manipulating the science or the emotion behind the thing. We're not trying to cause people to do things they wouldn't normally do. We don't want them to bid because they're afraid of losing out. We want them to look at the house, look at the value, look where it's listed. You're absolutely right. It levels the playing field, and frankly, it makes it fair for everybody. When, as an agent, from a listing broker's perspective, when I look at this, is that I want to make sure that the buyers are treated fairly. I don't want to influence a buyer's decision by feeding them false or misleading information. That doesn't help anybody. It certainly doesn't help my client, and it doesn't help the buyer's agent's client as well. So, Mike, I'm glad that you insisted on that, and that worked well for us. The bottom line, folks, to those that are buying in Tampa Bay, if your buyer's agent's asking these questions, I've asked these questions too. But you got to ask yourself, is it the best question to ask? Does it make sense? Or does it make more sense for just to get it done, write an offer anyway? Because you never know. You don't understand what's going on behind the scenes unless we get an offer out there and exercise it. So instead of not writing an offer, waiting to find out if this is the information or not, go ahead and write an offer. It takes a few minutes to put an offer together. Write an offer, get it out to that listing agent, have your agent present it, and do well. I want to thank you, number one, for taking my console when we took this listing, and you authorized me to win, and the reason why you did that is you offered a higher commission to the buyer's agent than any other listing in the area. I think it was like a 5 or a 10 mile radius of your house. no listing paid the buyer's agent as much as yours did. And so thank you on behalf of the buyer's agents in Tampa Bay. But why is that important to you? Why does that matter?
Well, absolutely. In the end, you get what you pay for. You know, the good buyers are with good agents.
Right.
So how do we bring in the good agents who will bring us good, qualified
That's a big
buyers who will actually close? And that's to pay them for their services. You know, nobody wants to work for free, and they shouldn't have to.
That's for sure.
So, yeah, I'm offering more money out there so I get more quality agents who bring in the quality buyers, and so in the end, everybody's happy.
Guys, I hope that we helped you, give you some value in this. I wanted you to see from a seller's perspective of what the sellers are going through, what they're thinking, how they're doing things. We wanted to extend a gratitude to Heckman Mortgage for even helping us get through this process and qualifying the buyers. And one thing he did that I love that you got was Mike got a video. So Brian and his team get the approval of each buyer. Not everybody allows this to happen, but the buyers that do really get a competitive advantage when they deal with Heckman. Brian gets their authorization to share the particulars of how well they're qualified with me and with Mike. And Brian goes one extra step. He actually makes a video for each buyer that he sends to me to provide to my client, which I do for each buyer. How well they're qualified. If the buyer authorizes him to disclose what their credit score is, he'll disclose what their credit score is. He'll really give you, Mike, a good warm fuzzy that buyer's well qualified and that we can have a fair negotiation. And in this case, you didn't necessarily accept, and we can't talk about yet what offer he accepted, but I can say, there goes my paper, that the offer you accept was not necessarily the highest price. It was the most qualified buyer.
That's right.
So that's important to know. And unless you have anything else to add, guys, or Mike, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And
yeah, I mean, if anybody's watching, this is my realtor. My realtor is not only educating me, but he's educating you. And selling a house, buying a house, it's daunting. Nobody likes to do it, you know?
It's daunting selling them, let me tell you.
Exactly. So what I've learned is if you find an agent or a broker who is willing to take the time and educate you, it makes the process a lot easier. And then the next time, I feel more confident. And the other thing, you know, we were talking about with Heckman Mortgage, I never knew a mortgage company could be on my team.
Yeah.
You know, really, like the videos you were talking about, I've never seen this before. You know,
that was huge.
What Tyler and what Brian have been teaching me, that it's not just about the price. I mean, somebody can throw a number of $10 million on the house, but if they don't close, what's the point?
Exactly.
So the fact that it's just, don't look at the price, look at the loan to value ratio, the credit score, what the person does for a living. Is this going to be completed in 30 days so everybody can walk away with a better house? Or that's the most important part. So when you're looking for an agent, look for somebody who is out there who can talk to you like this, or one-on-one, and educate you. Or if you want the easy button, he's right here.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate
Tyler
that.
Sheff.
And we'll wrap it up right there. And guys, my name is Tyler Sheff. I'm an agent with Future Home Realty, best brokerage in Tampa Bay. If you're looking to take things to the next level, you can just simply call me at 727-417-9803. I'd be happy to look at your situation, see how my team and I can help you. I am primarily located in the Key West market. Down here, that's where we are right now. We're in Key West, having a little fun, getting ready to go have some lunch. But I also have a team of agents and lenders and helpers all throughout Tampa Bay, so we can represent you in either the Tampa Bay market or in the Key West market. So guys, thanks for your time. This has gone a little longer than probably you might want, but I hope you got some value out of this, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.